Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, your host, Stephen Wallace. And I'm delighted to bring you the third part of my series with Shazia Rahman Zazai, the ex-captain of the Afghanistan women's cricket team. In this episode, I feature two insightful interviews with Shazia, one recorded in October and the other in late January, where she shares her experiences from a busy 2024-25 cricket season, playing for Eastlake in Canberra and Campbelltown in Sydney. Hello, Shazia. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much again for bringing me to your show.
You must be pleased the cricket season has started for you.
It does, and I was very excited, and I'm really enjoying my cricket season.
On this show, I wanted to catch up with you to find out how the season is going and squeeze in a few thoughts from you about the recent T20 World Cup. But to start with, how's it been going playing 2 days a weekend on Saturday in Canberra and on Sunday in Sydney?
Thank you, Stephen. We only played two rounds in Canberra and two rounds in Sydney, which is going very well. And we won two rounds game in Sydney and one round in Canberra. And unfortunately, we lost our first game. Second game, and then in Canberra. So it's going very well, and it's just the start, but so far so good.
In Sydney, you're playing for Campbelltown, and that's first grade cricket. Have you noticed a big difference in the standard?
Absolutely, there is a big difference. Cricket in Sydney is a bit intense and more quicker and like very in high level compared to Canberra because uh, playing in first grade, it's way different than the second grade. So I really love playing there because it gives me more time and opportunity to develop my skills and to be able to play with the players that they have same level or like and we are competing in the same competition.
So far, have you been playing 20 over cricket or has it been 40 overs?
So far, it's 20 overs. And we have few rounds more left to play 20 overs. So basically, they're playing first T20 and um, then one day. So still, we are playing T20 now. Yeah.
And playing in the first grade, having played, I think, 2 years now for Eastlake, you feel you needed to play that better standard of cricket.
Absolutely. Because always I wanted to play higher cricket because the second grade was not a right level for me to stay there, and I was always wanted to play higher level cricket, and which is the good start is from first grade. Unfortunately, we don't have first grade in Canberra, and we haven't played since two season for first grade. And before when I arrived to Australia, I remember that we were playing like with Medio's girls. Who are representative teams players, and it was very good. But unfortunately, we do not have enough players to that they can continue the first grade comp in Canberra. So when I decided to go to Sydney and saw their players, so they're very talented girls, and that's the good way to start from a good level cricket for me.
But would you say that time playing for Eastlake was a good grounding for you before you went to play first grade?
It was good, yeah, because I really worked on my skills and in every aspect of cricket that I needed to improve. As I said earlier in my other podcast, that we had differences in playing in Australia in Afghanistan. So I really worked hard and playing cricket in Canberra helped me a lot and. as I mentioned before, I had good coaches like Masood in Canberra, so he really worked hard on my skills, and it's now getting way better. And I'm learning like every day from different person, every week from different and talented players we have. So, which the starting was in Canberra was helped me a lot. So yeah.
How have you done personally for the Campbelltown team?
I think I've done good. I haven't done like extraordinary thing, but I was quite good, and the way I was bowling was very good, and I was getting lots of supports from my teammates and my coach, and they were very surprised that I could turn ball to both ways, and I have like many variation that I can use. So in two games, I didn't receive much. I mean, something remarkable, but it was good. And as I said, it is just the start. So hopefully, I do better in upcoming games.
Do you find it's more competitive on the field? There is a more noise on the field playing in Sydney, or
I think so, yeah. As I said, players are different and there is a crowd as well. So, families are coming to cheer up their daughters and players, so which is very good. And the standard is very good and like high standard and professional. So it gives you a very good feeling. So playing in such a comp. And Sydney is a huge city and they have like, I think around 12 teams. They're playing like first grade. So which is very good and I love being there and playing there.
so it's a very big club.
It is. Every club has their own players and the amount is very huge, which is very good and girls really love to play cricket and they have even like third grade in Sydney for women, which we have only second grade for girls in Canberra. And the surprising and the good thing in Sydney is like they have like three categories, three grades. So all types of skills, the girls that they want to play cricket, so they can come and join, and which is very good. And like the amount is very high for every club.
Well, that's good to hear. And you've been playing with some England under-19 players.
Yes, which is I'm feeling happy and it's excited at the same time and surprised as well because I never thought that I would be able to see someone that they played international games and played for under 19 teams. So we have two players. Her name is Hannah Baker. She's a leg break bowler, and Caris Pavley. They both of them played under 19, and I think they're playing representative teams in England as well. And I believe they played hundreds too. So they're very good players, and they have very great personalities. And um, I remember that. Chris, I asked yesterday actually, Chris, that what's your variation in bowling? So, how many variation you have, and which one is the best one you can use? So she told me that most of the time I'm getting variation from the pitch, so I'm just trying to create an angle and she showed me how she's doing this and I was very surprised as well. So she told me that you're bowling very well and you can turn ball both ways, so which is great, and you just need to um put some variation in the crease as well, like when you are coming to the crease, so sometimes you need to stay like close to the wicket, and sometimes you can bowl like away from the wicket. And And as well as Hannah Baker on the first day, she asked me that how you bowling wrong in googly. So I said it takes time. I did a bit of practice, and it's something that you need to feel it. So and the leg break ball is not that easy. So we just trying to make practice. So they're very good and experienced players, and they have very great personalities, and which is great. And I'm really learning many things in Sydney now.
Yeah, it must be great to play and learn off them. And you must have a real spin attack playing for Campbelltown then.
Actually, the when I went to Campbelltown first, so our coach, his name is Stephen Davis. So he told me that we have too many spinners in our club actually. So I'm not sure um how I can give you a chance. And I don't know how you're bowling because he never saw my bowling before. So when I bowled, so he was very happy and he said, "Yeah, definitely you're playing first grade." So, um, in the other side, it's challenging as well because they do have very good quality spinners, as well as Hannah and Caris. That they're also new to this club, so this is their first time as well. And we do have some other good spinners too, but still they're very good to manage the team and to give chance to everyone, which is great.
And how are you coping with the traveling? Because one day you're playing for Eastlake in Canberra, and then the next day you're going across to Sydney, which is a quite a long journey.
Indeed it is. Sometimes um it feels very hard and like exhausting for me, and sometimes like I'm saying, oh, it's very hard because I'm traveling and driving and playing there and coming back. So especially driving during the night, it's very hard for me. During the day it's fine, but when it's a nighttime, so it's getting a bit hard. But the good thing is when I'm remembering the purpose of my traveling, so it gives me a hope and a positive feeling that that's okay. And Because I love cricket and I love to travel for cricket and for playing a quality cricket in city like a Sydney, that's a huge thing as well. So that's why it keeps me motivated, and I'm just doing this. It's hard, but still I love it and I'm enjoying. Sometimes like when I'm enjoying the driving and the purpose that why I'm traveling, so it gives me a joy.
How long a journey is it?
It depends. So if we have a cricket game in the home, so it takes me like 2.5 hours to get there. And but sometimes if we have a game away from the home ground, so it depends. Sometimes 3 hours and 3.5 hours. So always I'm trying to leave my home early that I could get some rest or like to prepare myself for the game.
And are you traveling alone as well, or have you got someone supporting you when you're going?
Um, Actually, as I said, my sister is my supporter, so she's still accompanying me and she's giving me a huge support. And sometimes when I was going to the training, so my parents they were giving me a company, and but right now because it's not a few games, so I'm just preparing myself to travel and be able to play cricket and come back. But I always have support, which is great. So I'm not alone in the way, and they're giving me support, which is I'm very grateful for that.
We mustn't forget you're also going across once a week for the training with the University of Sydney.
Yes, I was going there for I did couple of trainings. I went there for a few weeks, and then everything change, so I decided to play with the Campbelltown. Um, so for cricket, as I said, I can travel like anywhere. That's not a problem. But this time I decided to go to Campbelltown, and I didn't know that we will be having like international players in our team as well. And now I'm thinking that that was a good decision too. And the Campbelltown is a bit near near from the Sydney University. So yeah.
So are you still doing the weekly training with Alex Blackwell?
Actually, I'm not doing weekly training with Alex Blackwell. I'm doing training with the Campbelltown Cricket Club because obviously I'm playing with the Campbelltown, so I have to join the Campbelltown's training. So I'm still traveling to Campbelltown for the training and the games. And sometimes some weeks I when I can't make it, so I'm not doing I'm not traveling. But most of the times I'm traveling to Campbelltown and I'm doing training with the Campbelltown team.
But that's specialist training and it's getting you to know more and more of the players at the club.
Of course, yeah, which is great. Like as I said, I asked yesterday, Pavli about the about her variation. So it gave us like a chance to chat and to know each other more and to share experience. So which is great.
And work-wise, you're still working during the week, aren't you? So even more things to do.
Of course. So during the season, cricket season, it was challenging for me last time that and it was a bit hard for me to manage my work. But luckily, my workplace is very supportive and they supported me in every aspects. So I shared my concern about the cricket that I have. So they changed my availability. So now I'm working on weekdays and weekends I'm playing cricket, which is great and both works. So sometimes, when you play cricket and travel a lot, so you feel exhausted and sometimes you thinking, oh, I'm just not, I can't do work today. So, but still I have to do it. But it's good and I can manage both, so it's good for
I don't know how
now.
you fit all this in. We mentioned off air about the T20 World Cup. Did you get chance to watch some of it?
Um, I did watch like a full game of Pakistan and India girls when they were playing group games. But the sad thing was about the World Cup games. Every game was like around 1 a.m. They were starting at 1 a.m. So, and it was very hard for me to watch all the games, but I was following the highlights and the scorecards.
Were you surprised, like many of us here were, that New Zealand won the trophy?
Actually, I was they have great players and they're very good and talented players. So I was not surprised because I knew they have talent. So they could win the World Cup. And as well as I was surprised about the England performance that they were unbeaten and then they lost against West Indies, which was quite sad. And also Australia also lost the game. So I was like more of most of the time I was thinking like maybe we have India, Australia, England, and New Zealand in the final. But it's cricket, so New Zealand and South Africa went to the final. So I was actually supporting both of them. So I was not getting side of one team between South Africa and New Zealand because both of them have very talented players. So, but I was very surprised by Amelia Kerr performance during the World Cup. She become uh, player of the tournament and player of the match. And I think it unlocked another favorite player for me. So, and she's the other thing is she's a leg break bowler as well. So she's also like quite all rounder. So I love watching her bowling and batting.
Yes, Mealy Kerr had a fabulous tournament, and like you say, another leg spinner like yourself.
Yeah, so which was very good, and the way she bowled and the way she had a confidence on her bowling. That's all a player need. So, and she had everything, and which was great. And she's a great person, and I'm really happy for them that they won the World Cup because they are very great players.
You think it's good for the women's game because Australia always win?
I think it's I'm not sure other people what would say. I think that's good. Like maybe some other countries also have a joy about winning the World Cup. But it's like that's a fact that Australian girls are very like talented, and there's a no doubt how they're playing and how their mindset is. But sometimes, as I said, like it's cricket, everything can happen. So sometimes country going like winning all the games like in a row, and then someone else is coming and beating them. So it doesn't mean that they don't have the talent, but they are a great team in every aspect. But I think that's good to have a change, and maybe players can learn more things and they can work on the weaknesses or maybe the gaps that they had in the game in the during the World Cup. So which is good. Like life is always learning. So and I'm actually happy for the New Zealand team that they won the World Cup.
What was the reaction amongst the women players at Campbelltown with the Australians
Um,
going out?
Actually, at that time, I was in Campbelltown because I went late, and we were not discussing lots of the World Cup things, but I heard that a few players were upset about how England went on the last game, and I think they dropped few catches, so they were not happy about it. And as I said, we were also not happy when Australia lost the game because everyone was willing to watch Australia again on the final game.
Thank you once again, Shazia, for joining me on the paddock and the pavilion. You've come a very long way since those days back in Afghanistan when you first started playing cricket.
That's true. Thank you so much, Stephen, for making my story alive and giving me a chance to share my life updates with you and with everyone. And I really appreciate your help and everything. And yes, it is a long way, but I think um, it's going well so far, so I'm not gonna stop it. So, and hopefully, everyone will hear some good news. And I'm hoping that I play more high level cricket than first grade.
Best of luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we can catch up again later or at the end of the season.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I'll keep you updated. Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying part 3 with Shazia Rahman Zazai on the paddock and the pavilion. Don't forget, you can listen to this episode and over 300 others in our archive on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and on our YouTube channel. In part 4, coming soon, Shazia will share her experience of attending the Women's Ashes in Canberra ahead of a very special match on January the 30th, where she will be playing for an Afghanistan Women's Invitational 11 at the Junction Oval in Melbourne. Let's return to part 3 and my January interview with Shazia. Hello, Shazia. Welcome back to the show for this catch up on the 2024-25 season.
Thank you so much, Stephen, again, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, when we last spoke, Shazia, in October, you had played 2 games for both Eastlake and Campbelltown in Canberra and Sydney, respectively. Can you update listeners on how it's gone for you since then?
Yeah, of course. Canberra and Sydney
both sides are going very well, and I'm enjoying my games. So for Canberra, we're playing semi-final next week, and in Sydney, our team will be playing final. So it's been a very good journey in Sydney as well. So I'm really enjoying my time there.
This is T20 cricket so far in Australia.
Yeah, so far it's only T20.
How have you been doing personally with the bat and ball?
I didn't do much with the batting, but I was able to stick in the on the crease and to stay for to play overs in Sydney especially. So my coach told me just stay there and play the finish the overs, and because we were losing wickets in some games, so I did the same. And I didn't do like something very special, but it was good. In the bowling, in Sydney, I was doing well as well. In the crucial situation, I was taking wicket for the team, and I was contributing good in all the cricket parts. And it's being a very good cricket season in Sydney as well, because I never been in the kind of cricket environment that you will be seeing lots of great players, representative players, and players that they played WBBL, and we have two players, as I spoke about this before, from England. So it's been very well, and I'm learning a lot from each player, and it's helping me a lot. And in Canberra also, it's doing very good. And so far, I'm the leading wicket taker. So I have 18 wickets so far in the season. And in the batting, still it's going well, but not that remarkable performance. But in the bowling, it's still going very well, and my average and the wicket is doing good, and I'm taking wickets and contributing well to the team. That's all it matters.
That's good to hear. How have you found the difference playing in Campbelltown to Sydney? You said in the previous part, after a couple of games, the intensity was a lot higher in Sydney.
Yeah, that's true. Because as I mentioned before, we playing in Sydney between very good players. As I said, they're representative players, so they played for Sydney representative teams. And also the players who plays first grade, they're very good. They have very skillful, and so you're not getting split seconds to do something wrong. So you need to be active all the time, which is great, and it improves player skill a lot. So this was my first season, and I coped very well, and that was a great achievement for myself individually. And as Afghan woman, as I said earlier, I am the first woman to be able to play first grade in Sydney, and in country like Australia, which is very competitive, and in all aspects, especially cricket. So the intensity is very high, and they're very skillful and talented players, and it helped a lot for my performances, and I'm getting lots of experience from them.
Do you find when you bowl a bad ball, I'm sure you bowl some, that it gets punished in Sydney?
Of course, of course. I've been punished for my bad bowling, so I'm trying to not do that. And as I said, they are very good players. So if I do a small mistake, or not do a ball in the good length, so there is like 100% chance for being punished. So because they're very good batters, and they have very good bowlers too.
And Campbelltown is a much bigger club than Eastlake.
Yes, it is. It is very big club actually. So right now, they have first grade women, second grade, brewers who are under 18. They used to have third grade women as well, but this season they don't have third grade. So they have like three teams right now. And we only have one team in Canberra. So it is much bigger team, and some other clubs in Sydney they have even like two or three more grades in the women's cricket.
How have you managed all the travelling and playing for on a Saturday and a Sunday? It's a lot of cricket to play.
It is a lot of cricket to play, but as you know, I love cricket, so um, I'm enjoying every time of being in the cricket field, and even if I'm traveling. So sometimes it's getting very hard as well, but the thing is, I know my reason and I know why I'm going there, and I know my goals, so I just want to achieve my goals, and it gives me motivation to do what I'm doing.
Your sister's still travelling you on these three-hour journeys?
Yeah, she's traveling with me, and she's my biggest supporter, and she always um giving me good examples and giving me nice speeches, and whenever I'm having games. So when she asked me how you feel, when I say I'm nervous, so she's saying no, you should not say nervous anymore. I don't like this word, and you just say I'm excited and I'm gonna go and do better in the game. So she's always here with me for me, and she's supporting me in every time and in every aspects, which is great.
You don't get nervous more when you play for Campbelltown, when you're playing with people that like Hannah Baker and Charis Pavley who have played for England under 19s?
Yeah, at the beginning I was being nervous a lot, and because the environment was different, I was new in the club, and the nerves were coming. So it was a good nerve too, but sometimes excitement and sometimes a little bit nervous. But right now I'm doing well, so which is good, and I know what to do now.
Campbelltown must have a good spin attack with the three of you.
Oh, of course, yeah. So we have a very good spinner attack. We have Hannah Baker, Karis, and also we have one player from Pakistan. Her name is Liz Barakat. So I think she played for. She was part of the national team squad as well. Few years ago, and but she now play for Campbelltown. She has been playing for Campbelltown for 4 years now, and I think yeah. So we have very good spinner attack, and sometimes it's very hard for the club to to balance the team because they have very good spinners, and sometimes it's very hard to give everyone the same opportunity.
So the rest of the season, you've got a semi-final then in the T20 for Eastlake and a final coming up in T20 for Campbelltown, and then it's on to the one-day matches.
Yeah, actually, we played few one-day games in Sydney. But we won semi-final last week, and the final would be on Monday. And semi-final in Canberra, we are playing tomorrow, and then we will be if we win the semi-final, so the final would be on 10th of February. And then we will be starting our one-day game in Canberra next week. So, but in Sydney, we played a few one-day games.
So lots to look forward to for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm still very excited and I can't wait. Every week, I have lots of things to do, but the only thing that I can't wait to join and to do the things is cricket. So I'm just counting the days for the game to come.
Yes, mustn't forget you're still managing to go to work as well as doing all this travelling.
Yeah, I'm doing work and traveling. And yesterday I was talking with my friend and she asked me, okay, how many days you are busy? How many days you're working and you have training? So she wrote every day of the week, and then I was saying, I'm working on this day, I'm working on this day, and after finishing work, I'm going to do training. And then on Wednesday, I have a day off, but I still have a training, so I have to go to the training. And then on Thursday, I'm working again, and then I'm working again, and then I'm playing, and then I'm traveling, and then playing again, and then coming back. So lots of things. And she was saying, oh my God, so you must be very tired then. So I said, yeah, of course. When I'm doing this thing, yeah, I feel really very tired as well. So, sometimes physically and mentally both. So, it's hard to manage, and sometimes you feel very tired, to be honest. But, as I said earlier, so when you remember your goal, so it gives you motivation that tells you, yes, just move on. That's why you are doing this. So just keep doing it.
You love the game of cricket so much, don't you?
I really love it. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for letting us know how the season's been going. Very successfully so far. The very best of luck for the final and the semi-final, and hopefully we'll catch up again at the end of the season.
Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to part 3 with Shazia. And here's some great news. Eastlake won their T20 semi-final on Saturday, January the 25th. Be sure to follow the Paddock and the Pavilion for updates, and don't miss part 4 coming soon.